Hello, third grade, and welcome to music class. It's great to have you here, even though we're not in person. It's still great to have you here, and I'm looking forward to you guys being back in class and that we get to make music together. Because honestly, it's not as much fun doing this. Here I am. I'm in this room all by myself. Reason why I'm not wearing a mask at the moment. When there's students around, I will be wearing this, or if I'm around the building, if I'm out of my classroom, and I wear the mask. So, but that's the reason why I'm not wearing it now is because there's nobody else in the room. But I still look forward to having you here, and that we get to make music together. All right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start off with the rules. They're the same rules as last year, but we want to go over them, and then as you start coming back, we're probably not gonna go over the rules as often when you're back. So therefore, we do need to go through this now, and we're gonna go through them for a few weeks. The rules are behind me, but I also have a brand new sheets that way you can see them. And so here are the music class rules. And the first one is listen and follow directions. Listening means you can hear them. So you've got to stay quiet enough to hear the directions. Okay? That means, which we'll talk about rule number 2, that means when you're in music class that you're not talking to your neighbor. Because if you're talking to your neighbor while I'm trying to give directions, you're not going to hear them. You're not listening to them. And so it's very important that you're listening so you know what to do. So that way you can follow the directions. Because that's very important. So listen and then, of course, follow the directions. And those are two different things. Okay? In this music, in class, you have lots of time that we're going to be making, I don't want to say necessarily noise, which music is, it is a type of noise, but it is a beautiful noise. It is a wonderful noise. Its sound is really a better word for it. And so we'll have plenty of opportunity for that. But that means we make sure we need to listen. And even on here, on the other side of the screen, you need to make sure you're listening so that way you can also follow the directions. Okay? Most of the things that we do on here are the same things that those that are here at school are going to be doing as well. So I'm not doing really a whole lot different. I'm just adapting some things. There are some things I may not do just because we can do them together a little bit differently. But really most things you can do at home. Almost everything you can do at home. Because there are a lot of things we can't do here at school either. It's just there are certain things you can't do because you need a lot of people for. If we're doing any kind of round or canon or anything, it's a little bit more challenging. But most things we can do, I can have you do at home as the same thing we're doing here during this pandemic. Because again, we can't play tag games. We can't play anything that involves that, or we can't do folk dancing right now. Once we can get back and everything's good, we'll do that, and it'll be very important that we are following those directions. So make sure you're listening and you're doing everything there. Raise your hand. That's rule number 2. Obviously, that's not an issue at home. As I said, there are certain things here that are different at home, even though we're doing most things the same. Obviously, I can't see you. And so I can't see if you're raising your hand or not. I'm not going to call on you. Make sure you raise your hand. And rule number, but when you're here at school, so that way you can listen to the directions. And then we're also not talking over each other. You'll better know what to do. And rule number 3, be nice. You can do that at home as well as at school. Here at school, be nice to each other. Say nice things to each other. Don't hurt anybody. That includes that includes touching or with words. Obviously, we don't do any touching right now. So with just be nice. That includes your brothers and sisters. Be nice to them, and that includes yourself. Be nice to yourself. All right, those are the rules. We'll go over the consequences when you're back. Those are not going to change. Those will be the same as last year. All right. So what I'd like you to do, this is going to be a little bit different, and so I'm using the same lesson as what I'll be doing with that I'm doing this week with the students in class. So, but I'm just going to tell you this is what we're doing. So what you're going to do is I'd like you to be a tree. Pretend as though you're a tree. And you're going to go, and then we'll have squirrels, and don't worry, you'll get to be a squirrel too. But we're going to start off with as a tree, and so I want you to think, what are different kinds of trees? By the way, I love trees. I love going to the woods. I did a lot of that during the summertime. Okay, and so I went to a lot of the state parks. So I want you to be a tree. Think of the different kinds of trees. Maybe you are a pine tree, which is like one of the evergreens. You can be like this, and they're kind of like Christmas trees. Sometimes can be pine trees, or a spruce tree, or maybe you're a strong, mighty oak tree, or you're a weeping willow. You get to decide. Decide what kind of tree. Now, stay frozen. All right? And you're going to hear in the wind, as the wind comes, you're going to sway back and forth. You keep swaying. I'm going to play something else as you keep swaying. Something else. Sway, sway. Excellent. All right. Well, that's the easy part. That's the tree. And so what happened in the classroom is half of the students will be trees. The other half will be squirrels. So now you get to be a squirrel. And so a squirrel, as you heard me play some different things. If you would like to make some trees, and that would just be some objects to put around, and that as a squirrel you get to go squirrel around them. Or if you have a brother or sister, they could be the trees. And you, of course, don't forget to switch. So it's going to happen now that you're a squirrel. If you want to set up some different trees, you can pause this video and get those set up. All right. So what's going to happen is, as a squirrel, you're going to go, and you heard me play some different things, and so now you're going to step, 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 step. Okay. This is the steady beat. Keep doing that. So this is the beat. Okay. I'm going to change it. I'm going to do what's called a subdivision, so it's a little bit quicker. Put that in your feet. Excellent. Now, I'm going to do some patterns. So we were just doing beat and subdivision. Now I'm going to do some rhythms. So rhythm. So it's a little bit different than beat. Okay, so I'm gonna play some different rhythms, and then you're going to move to the feet. You move your feet to it. Okay. so different patterns. Step, 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 step. Great. So now I'm just going to play some continuous rhythms, and so you have to really be listening for what pattern you're going to be, okay, which one you're going to move with. Okay, here we go. Make it a little bit trickier. You have to really listen, because if I do the long ones, you're going to freeze. If you have a brother or sister or a mom or a dad that's the tree, that's where they sway. And then when I do anything else, the trees are frozen and the squirrels are going to go around. So here we go. Excellent job, excellent job. All right, so I'm going to pause for a little bit here, not pause the actual video, but I'm going to take a little bit less stop here and explain something. This is something I'm going to explain in class a little bit as well. So I'm going to take the time in class to do this, and so because this is where it's actually more important for you. Each time you're going to check in with me, okay? And so how you're going to check in, we're going to use Flipgrid on its learning on the page. Where you got to this video. You may have already watched this how-to video. There is a how-to video, and so it's very, very, very important that you watch that video. So you can set up an account. The video will take you just over 3 minutes. It's like, I think it might be even less than 3 minutes. It's a short video. It's not very long. It's definitely under 4. I know that. So what you're going to do is go on, watch the video, and so that way you can get on to my Flipgrid. And so what you're going to do is I will put on an assignment on there, and that has to do with the lesson that we're doing in here. So that way you can put it in. So there are going to be times I'm going to ask you just to say something. Sometimes I'm going to ask you to sing. If I ask you to sing, I may not post it. I might post it. I will actually let you have that option of whether you want your video posted. If you don't say anything, if you sing it, or say it, I probably most likely will post your video to Flipgrid. But I am going to give you the option because I know some people are a little more scared, and so you just tell me in the video, please don't post this. Okay, I won't. So what you're going to do on Flipgrid, although it would be great if you did, because it'd be awesome if we have the whole class, and it's a great way to interact with each other and see what each other's doing. So hopefully you'll allow me to post it, and the only people that will see it, if you allow me to post it, the only people that will see it are the people in the class, or the only other people that potentially outside of the class would be the other class because they chose the wrong class when they signed up. I'll probably catch it anyways and get them off of there to make sure they're on the right one. But because you can see each other, you can see each other's class as far as signing up, and so because you have each other have the class code to get in. But otherwise, nobody else will see it. And if you do ask me not to share it, then the only person that will see it is me. Because I have to approve it anyways before it will go on to Flipgrid, and some videos I may choose not to post it. If there are certain things in the background, or there are certain things that are restricted, I will not post it on there. And if so, that way, know that I will respect that. So please, but again, it would be great if you could, and if you would allow that way, again, for that interaction purpose. Go on, watch the how-to video, get signed in. You do have to use your email address, which is your username, so the login information to get onto your Chromebook. So it's that at students.bcsc.k12.in.us. You do need to use that login to get on. It might, and the video that I have, it may already, you may not have to type that in because that might already be done. Great, that's easier for you. But if not, you have to put that in, put your password in. You know your password. I do not have access to that. But make sure. If you have questions on that, you do have to go to your teacher, because again, I don't have that information. All right. If you have any other questions though, if other than password or whatnot, and you're struggling to get in, let me know. I can help you out.